Hello, I'm Deepak Mandal. I'm with here a new Nest.js course, basic to advanced. So we will be just covering everything in Nest.js, like maybe more than everything you got out there in courses. This course will be just not for basics, not for intermediates. It will also go in advance, how Nest.js works and everything. You will see. So this is the first video for this course, and the video is on how to get started, like getting started with the Nest.js. Okay, so let us get started with Nest.js with the basic what questions like what is Nest.js. So Nest.js is Node.js framework. Nest.js is a progressive Node.js framework designed for building efficient, reliable, and scalable server-side applications. So very clear in terms of like it is actually a progressive Node.js framework. So you can just understand that. So TypeScript support, it actually fully supports TypeScript provide a robust typing system to improve code quality and maintainability. So it is actually like Nest.js developers Kamil actually, Nest.js creator, loves TypeScript, and it actually on top of TypeScript and fully supports TypeScript, but you can also like use JavaScript. So as they also love Node.js, as they mentioned in their documentation, they also love Node.js, so they also provided JavaScript support for that. But to support JavaScript, because they like Nest.js uses new syntax, you have to use Babel for model compiling, transpiling. Okay, modular architecture. So it have a modular architecture, encourages the use of modular architecture, allowing developers to break down their applications into reusable modules. So that is why I have switched from normal Express or some normal Fastify. I have switched from Express. Why? Because the architecture was the main issue in that particular development process, and we have to define more than more standards to even just start with the Express app. Yeah, Express just goes like in all directions. So maintaining that is very hard, and that is why we like I switched to Nest.js because of architecture it provides. And the architecture is actually on dependency injection, so it actually uses dependency injection with decorators. Yeah, so dependency injection is utilizes the power of dependency injections system, enhancing testability and flexibility of this application. So it uses dependency injections. So I actually have some of I will provide some of idea on dependency injection later on in this series, how dependency injection works and how actually it injects the providers to controllers or the modules. Okay, so built-in testing tools. It does have built-in testing tools, provides built-in tools and support for unit and end-to-end testing. Extensive ecosystem integrates with a wide range of libraries, tools from Node.js and JavaScript ecosystems, including Express, Fastify, TypeORM, Mongoose, and GraphQL. So, what most loved about Nest.js, it is actually flexibility of using it. So you don't have to always uh, create like convert some library to usable inside according to Nest.js. You can just directly use those libraries, but it is more preferred to just create a module, dynamic module, and then just use them. So the Django, like I have switched from Django and Laravel, and so I have worked on those frameworks also. So they do not provide that much freedom to us, like and flexibility to the developer. so they can just use anything like directly to their system without converting or without making any very advanced adapter according to that particular framework. So it is more like a library to me. I use it like a library, but why we prefer to say it framework? Because of the architecture. So we are just following that particular architecture whatever Nest.js provided, and I love that particular architecture. It also supports microservices. Microservice supports the development of microservices, allowing for the creation of distributed system, documentation and community. So whatever documentation I have seen, Django have very good documentation, everything from. But I have also worked on Loopback, and Loopback. I think Loopback is great framework, but it does actually not have that particular extensive documentation to understand the whole structure of the project of any loopback project. Yeah, so that is also the main reason. So to adopt any of the framework out there, to for you to be like availability of the documentation and the community. So I think let's just have also like not as good as community as others, but it does have like Discord channels of Nest.js and others community out there. Yeah. Angular inspiration. So inspired by Angular, sharing similar concepts such as decorator, providers, and modules, which can be beneficial for developers familiar with Angular. So if you're just like you are a front end developer and you want to switch from like also include your back end to your stack, so you are in right place with Nest.js, because Nest.js is built uh, from the inspiration of Angular. Because of dependency injection, the whole thing Angular uses is also used by Nest.js. Yeah, particularly the same architecture. So Kamil was like really inspired by that uh, Angular architecture, and he just created Nest.js for us, for the backend developers also. So if you are using just Angular, then you are welcome to use Nest.js, and you will just onboard more quickly than others, I think. And the next question comes in mind is why you should use Nest.js. Yeah, so we have you gone through what is Nest.js. Now the question is why you should use Nest.js. Modern and efficient. So why modern? Because of TypeScript. Yeah, so TypeScript first leverages TypeScript, enhancing code quality, maintainability, and developer productivity. So this is actually features of TypeScript. So TypeScript provides and efficient asynchronous programming built on Node.js. It uses asynchronous programming, making it highly efficient and scalable. So as we know, the JavaScript Node.js is very famous for event loop and asynchronous programming with very efficiency. So that is provide efficiency and the modern, because of TypeScript features that we use in modern development of any application. Okay, so robust architecture. So we already talked about like what Nest.js contain in this that particular framework. Modular design encourages modular architecture, promoting reusable, maintainable, and testable code. So the most important part is modular architecture. So you can just define your own modules for auth. You can just define your own modules for user. So testing it, maintaining it, and reusability of that particular thing is very uh, like what I can say efficient in terms of developing a system. So if you are just talking about you want to use some user service in authentication auth module, so you can just export that service from the user module, and then you can just import that particular user module in auth module, and you can just use that particular service as user module already have user service. Yeah, so you because it defines that particular line, like which particular service actually belongs to which particular module. We don't get that particular type of like lining of usage in the whole programming system. Many time in express we don't know, like we can just create a function and then we define it can be used in anywhere, but that actually not very like maintainable. Yeah. And reusing it, we have to also convert it according to mm, like new requirements. So yeah, modular design is very great in SJS. Dependency injection uses a powerful DI system, dependency injection system, simplifying the management of dependency and improving testability. So we already discussed the dependency injection. It act, Dependency injection is nothing but a pool of services. Yeah. So Nest.js always creates a pool of services first, and whenever someone requires any service, it will check if that service already exists in that particular pool. If not, then it will just create one. If it is available, then it just inject that particular service to that particular module, and then module can use that particular service. Yeah. So that is how dependency injection works in Nest.js. Extensive ecosystem and integration, seamless integrations. So I already provided the idea, like it actually works well with popular libraries and tools like Express, Fastify, TypeORM, Mongoose, and GraphQL. So whatever you have out there as a library of JavaScript, you can just use that particular thing in Nest.js. Yeah. Microservices support. So we worked on I worked on many frameworks, but out of the box, like microservice support is amazing for Nest.js. Yeah. Built-in support for creating microservices facilitate the development of distributed systems. So they have very great inbuilt microservices library. Yeah. So that provides the particular support for microservices. Built-in testing. So comprehensive testing tools provides out-of-the-box support for testing, for unit testing and end-to-end testing, ensuring code reliability. Improved developer experience. Angular Spirit. So already talked about that. So shared designs patterns with Angular, making it easier for developers familiar with Angular to learn and use. A strong CLI. So they have very great CLI tool. You can just create anything from that particular CLI. Like you can just also create a monorepo. So you can just get extensive idea from the documentation. They have their own website, nestjs.com, and they can just go to the documentation. I think docs.nestjs.com. So a strong CLI comes with powerful CLI for scaffolding and managing projects, boosting development speed and efficiency. Vibrant community and support. Active community, a large active community and extensive documentation provide ample support and resources for developers. I don't know like about community. Like I always went to GitHub and asked anything, or I also check out the Discord. But the documentation, so that is what comes in the picture. Like documentation is fabulous. Like they have very great documentation with great examples actually. So that is the most prior thing to understand some framework or library to even work with. Yeah. Regular updates, continuous updates and improvement ensure the framework stays up to date with latest technologies and best practices. Production ready. Enterprise grade, designed with scalability and reliability in the mind, making it suitable for enterprise level applications. So that is the, yeah, it is actually enterprise grade application provided by Nest.js framework. Best practices, enforces best practices in coding and application structure, leading to cleaner and more maintainable code bases. Yeah. So the very important thing always happens in any of the organization, like they always get like code is not as much as good we require, because of every developer have their own idea of working and they do their thing separately. So that is why, like using Vanilla Express and even Vanilla React.js uh, like uh, always creates like a worst code out of that. Yeah, so you should go with some framework that provides also flexibility. I'm not saying like something very different, but yeah, some flexibility, because you have to also work out of box in some applications. Yeah, so yeah, Nest.js follows great standards, great like cleaner code and maintainable code base. Yeah. Now, at the end, like how we can just set up a Nest.js application. Okay, so prerequisites is like Node.js and npm. Ensure like you have Node.js version above 10, and you have installed npm. Recent version actually do already have like npm get installed at the time of installation of Node.js. Yeah, so you can just check out like how to install Node.js through Brew, Chocolate, or like whatever system you are on. So TypeScript knowledge, you also do have to TypeScript knowledge, like familiarity with TypeScript is beneficial but not mandatory. Like you can just look into it, you will understand the code structure. So installation, you just have to, now the next step, this is actually steps. The points are, first one is prerequisite, so you have to have this particular thing available. Then the second one is the installation. So Nest CLI installation, install the Nest CLI globally to scaffold and manage your project easily. So you can just npm install -g at the rate nestjs/cli. It will install the CLI for you, and it actually CLI provide many functionality like creating project of Nest.js, and also creating module controller services, or you can just also convert your own project into monorepo project. So it's very like extensive CLI, yeah, with great features. Third step is to creating a new project. So generate project, use the Nest CLI to create a new project. So you can just type Nest new project name, whatever project name you have in mind. So like I think like in the next video we will just get on to some programming coding. So you will have the particular idea, but you just get the idea like how we can start with. Yeah, at least so you can just tweak around and see what happens. So Nest new, as you already have installed CLI, Nest new project name, so whatever name you have in mind. So it will ask you some questions. So project setup, follow the prompts to set up your projects, like package manager choice, and whatever it have in the whole list. We will discuss like later in the video. Understanding the project structure, so it will automatically generate some project structure like this. Like inside the SRC there will be files outside, like in the main workspace, but inside the SRC is important to us as a developer. So contains the main application files, SRC directory, main.ts, entry point of the application. So you will get entry point in the main.ts, app.module.ts, root module, where all modules are important. So there will be a root module named as app.module.ts. You can just import any module like auth module, user module, cart module, order module, product module, or whatever module you are just creating out there. You have to just import in an app.module.ts file, and then it automatically gets registered. Yeah, app.controller.ts defines routes and request handlers. So we will discuss more about controllers, modules, and services. But yeah, so controller is like defining routes and request handlers. So what route endpoint will like work, and how it will work. So it will just define that, and the handler will just come from the services. App.service.ts contains the business logic and services. Okay, so we will just use this particular format in later on, and you can just run your application. And the fifth step, developer development server, start the development server with npm run start colon dev. Okay, so if you run that, you will just see it will, I think it will just open up things in localhost 3000. But yeah, I like to use 8000 in backend, and 3000 as in front end. So we will just discuss more, and we will hop on to the coding part in the later videos. Okay, so that's it for this particular video, how you can just start and how you can just create a project in Next.js. And we will just I will see you in the next video. Thank you.